You are going to pick up your phone 96 times today, not because you decided to, not because you needed to, but because there is something specifically engineered in that device that will make sure that you do. That is not an accident. That's a business model. And here is why this matters to you personally. Every time you sit down to think clearly, to work, to study, or just to create something, you can't. And then you blame yourself. You call yourself undisciplined, you call yourself lazy, good for nothing. You make promises to yourself and then you break them by the next morning. And the cycle repeats. What nobody told you is this, that the inability to focus that you feel every single day is not your personal fault. It's just an intended outcome of a deliberate build to produce exactly this result. The weaker your attention gets, the more time you spend on their platform. The more time you spend, more money they will make. Your distraction is their profit. Most people still think social media is just an entertainment, a tool you choose to use. The only problem is too much screen time, and the solution is more willpower. But that's exactly what they want you to believe. The truth is, these platforms aren't tools. They are carefully engineered psychological environment, developed and designed by some of the greatest engineers on earth with one single objective: to make you feel leaving these platforms impossible. I have spent weeks inside this research, reading internal testimonies, court documents, and confession from people who actually build these systems, plus the neuroscience perspective of what is happening to your brain every time you scroll. I will give you proof, not just theories, but actual proof from actual people who actually build these systems. Here's how we are going to move through it. First, the design meeting that starts all of this. Then, the slot machine mechanism that they imported directly from gambling science. Then, what's happening inside your brain at a biological level. Then, the internal documents and confessions. Then, what this is actually costing you every single day. And finally, the moment that change everything. Because once you truly see the system for what it is, you can't unsee it. If you have ever felt that your own mind is working against you, this video is going to explain exactly why. And I am going to make you angry. Subscribe before we go further, because this channel exists to show you exactly what's being hidden in the plain sight. Now let's get into it. In 2007, Steve Jobs launched the iPhone. The world celebrated. What nobody knew is that inside Silicon Valley, an arm race had already begun. Not to build the best phone, to build the most addictive one. Former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris has said a handful of designers sitting in San Francisco made a decision that affect the minds of 2 billion people. Not through force, through design. Every notification, every infinite scroll, every autoplay, every red notification badge, each one was tested, refined and optimized for one thing only: to keep you on the screen as long as possible. This was not an accident. This was not a side effect. This was the product. Your attention was always what they are selling. You just weren't told that you were the product being sold. In 1950, psychologist B.F. Skinner just found something that changed the science and eventually your life. Variable reward. When a reward comes randomly and unpredictably, it creates the strongest possible compulsion to keep trying. This is why slot machines are more addictive than any other form of gambling. The reward is never guaranteed. That uncertainty is exactly what makes it impossible to stop. Every time you pull down your feed to refresh it, you are pulling a slot machine lever. Sometimes you get something interesting, sometimes nothing, sometimes something that makes you feel seen or validated. The randomness is not a bug, it is the core mechanism. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, X, all of them use variable rewards as their primary engagement tool. This was not discovered accidentally. It was imported directly from gambling science into your phone. The same psychological mechanism that destroyed millions of lives in casino is sitting in your pocket right now. The difference is nobody warned you. Nobody asked for your consent, and it is completely legal. Your brain has a reward system built over a millions of years of evolution. It releases dopamine, the chemical of anticipation and pleasure. When you do something that helped your ancestors survive, finding food, social connection, or new information, every like on your phone triggers a small dopamine release. Every new notification creates anticipation. Is this a good news or a bad news? And that anticipation itself is dopamine. Every new content on your feed acts as a novel information that your brain thinks potentially important for survival. The apps did not create this system, they found it. And then they exploit it with precision. Your evolutionary biology was never designed to defend against. Your brain is running 200,000 years old software against a machine that was deliberately calibrated by smartest engineers for just one purpose: to trigger your system indefinitely. You are not weak, you are not lazy, you are not lacking discipline. You are a human with a human brain up against a machine built by billions of dollars to crush human willpower. That is not a fair fight, and you were never told that you were in one. This is not a theory. This is not speculation. The people who build these systems have said themselves. Shane Parker, the founding president of Facebook, said in 2017 that they deliberately exploited the vulnerability in human psychology. Former VP of Growth at Facebook, Chamath Palihapitiya, said he feels tremendous guilt for what they have built and does not use the product himself. Tristan Harris spent years inside Google trying to change these systems from inside before leaving to testify in front of United States Congress. The documents exist, the admissions exist, the court cases exist. This is not a conspiracy. This is a business model built on capturing and selling one of the things that you cannot buy back: your time and your attention. The most chilling part is not what they build. It is that they know exactly what they are building and they build it anyway because your attention is worth billions. The average person unlocks their phone 96 times per day. The average attention span of a person working on anything before getting distracted is 47 seconds. Research shows that it can take up to 23 minutes to get into your deep focus zone after getting distracted. Now, just do the math on your own head. Every time you pick up your phone mid task, you're not just losing 30 seconds that you spend on scrolling, you are losing the deep focus that follows. Every notification, every quick check, every just one more video, they are not stealing seconds from you, they are stealing hours from you, and that too every single day. The research from Georgia Mark UC in Erwin shows that knowledgeable workers shifting their task every 47 seconds on an average compared to every 2.5 minutes in 2004. Your ability to think deeply, create, focus, and produce is being systematically dismantled, not by your own weakness, by design. This is what it's actually costing you. Not just time, the ability to think, the ability to create, the ability to be present in your own life. That is what is being stolen, one notification at a time. Here is what nobody tells you about understanding this system. Once you truly see it, not intellectually but viscerally, everything changes. The phone does not disappear. The apps do not become less powerful, but you stop being unconscious inside them. Awareness is not a curse, but it is the only starting point. Every person who has genuinely understood how these systems work has described the same experience: a feeling of cold clarity, followed by anger and decision. And trust me, the decision is not just to smash your phone and move to the forest. The decision is to not being a passive user and start using it consciously. To ask every single time, am I choosing this? Or is it choosing me? Your phone was not built to serve you. It was engineered to hijack your mind. But the moment you truly see that, and you are seeing it right now, you stop being its victim. That is not a small thing. That is everything. You come into this video thinking the problem was you. It was never you. It was a system built by the smartest engineers on earth, funded by billions, tested on hundreds of millions, and optimized for over a decade, all to keep you hooked without you ever realizing it. Now you know. And that knowledge is the one that they can't take away. Awareness. The moment you truly see the system not as a theory, as a deliberate, admitted design, everything shifts. The phone doesn't disappear, the apps doesn't lose their pull overnight, but you stop being unconscious inside them. You start asking, am I choosing this or is it choosing me? The single question is how you begin taking your attention back, your focus, your time, your life. This channel exists for these moments. The moment when something becomes impossible to unseen. If you are ready to fight your mind, subscribe and hit the bell. Next week, we will go even deeper into the hidden systems that are shaping our life. You are not lazy, you never were. You were never told what you are actually up against. And now you know. The real question is, what will you do with that knowledge?